Hi, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about gardening and plants. So today I want to cover first of all is the problem, say for example, with aphids or spider mites, those kind of things in ornamental plants. So one of the favorite places that aphids like to hit would be Calibrachoa, for example, or million bells, or they like to be in petunias or pretty much any plant. They're not really too fussy. They like to attack and eat everything. So what I would suggest to you is it's pledge. So I have worked in a greenhouse for a number of years in the past, and this was like a gardening or a plant hack we used in the greenhouse. So all you have to do is give the pledge a shake, right? And give your plants just a light dusting of oil, this furniture polish oil. Not too much, right? Just enough. And so what the oil does is actually suffocates the aphids, okay? So you can use name brand pledge. That's what we always used in the greenhouse. That's what I always used in my house or my house plants. And these are not edible, right? These are ornamental plants. They can be used on roses, rose petals, rose leaves, those kinds of things. This is just a non-name brand furniture polisher that works as well. So again, just a light dusting of this spray, this oil, like I say, on your ornamental plants. So absolutely nothing you're going to eat, because you're not going to eat this kind of stuff on edible plants. So like I said, it's great for spider mites. It's great for aphids, those kind of things. And just a light dusting. And so how often, how frequent? Well, you're going to have to watch to see how bad the aphid infestation is. So maybe once a week, twice a week. And if they're, bad, keep on treating them maybe daily till they're gone. You'll notice, because they will turn black. That's how you can tell they're dead. They're usually like lime green when they're alive. And then when they're dead, they turn black. So use it as often as needed. Of course, the pledge oil is only for ornamental plants, nothing for human consumption. You do not eat these plants, okay? So that is a really simple, easy hack. This stuff used to be about $3.50 a can, but I see now, since I just bought a new can, it's about $7, $7.50, something like that. But a can will probably last you a season, depending on how many plants you have, how many pots you have, how often you use it, and of course how many plants you have in your yard. But it's a cheap, easy fix. And the other cool thing about using furniture polish for aphid control, spider mites, those kind of things, is the green leaves and everything look phenomenal. It looks like someone took a nice dusting rag to them after it's done and it settles in, right? So the mist is kind of white when it goes on. And don't overload them. Just a light mist is good enough, right? You're better off to treat them more often with light coats than a heavy duty coat less frequently, okay? But it's great for actually suffocating mold and mildew on rose leaves as well. So way back in the day when I did work in the greenhouse, it was common. It happened when you had too much humidity, too much moisture in the greenhouse. And it does happen outside when you have high humid days or too many days in a row, or just too many weeks on end with high humidity. You will get mold or mildew on the leaves, say of roses, right? Is like I just mentioned. But begonias is something else that's common. So that will help, and that will get rid of the problem. But you have to keep on treating it until the humidity drops and the mold is completely gone away. But it does work well. It's cheap. It's easy. It's a great fix. Again, ornamental plants only, not for human consumption. Do not eat these. So another solution for aphids, spider mites, those kind of things. But if you wanted to use them, say if you have like a mold problem, or you have aphids in, say, garden plants that you are going to eat for human consumption. I have seen mold on pea crops. So for example, or, and again, this next solution I'm going to suggest, it does work for ornamentals too, right? But it can be for plants you can eat, because it's not full of oil and chemical, that kind of garbage. So the next thing, and this is kind of, it goes back to the old days. I mean, this stuff has been around forever and used for a million different things, is good old baking soda. So what I would suggest, if you're going, you can treat your ornamentals, like you can treat your roses, you can treat your begonias, you can treat petunias, not too much in there, but I'll tell you the solution mixture. For Calibrachoa, for petunias, like for rose leaves, any of those kind of things, begonias, this also will snuff out and get rid of aphids. It will also get rid of spider mites. But the biggest thing, this will get rid of mold and mildew off the plant leaves as well. Okay, so what I always did for years, and again, this goes back to the greenhouse days when I worked there. So just get a spray bottle, right? Or whatever you have, and it'll work fine. So this particular spray bottle is, how big is this? It's probably about a couple cups, maybe 2 or 3 cups. Anyway, so what you do is go open up your bottle of baking soda. And remember, this is high salt, high sodium content within it. So do not put too much in because, again, you're spraying basically bicarbonate and a lot of salt on the plant. So a little bit is a lot. A little bit is effective. You don't need a lot. Take measuring spoons. And so for, maybe a spray bottle about this big, 2 to 3 cups, about a teaspoon. So this would be about the right size. So this is what I would use. So just go to your measuring spoons, get about a teaspoon, and play around with the solution. It doesn't have to be really, really strong. A teaspoon of this and about a bottle of this water. And the water I would use for starting out was just a little bit warm because it would dissolve a little bit better. So again, the baking soda mixture can be for edible plants, garden plants, things that are for human consumption, but it can also be used for ornamental plants as well. Again, so the pledge you're going to use for something you do not eat. The baking soda, you can use it for eating, but the baking soda actually is multi-purpose for both. So whatever you have handy in the cupboard, chances are everybody's got baking soda. Again, a very, very cheap, easy fix. I think this is about, I don't know, $6 or $7 a big box at Walmart, depending where you live. So anyway, that is kind of a good solution. And hopefully the aphid and spider mite and infestation won't be too bad this season, but I guess time will tell. And then also the mold and mildew. Again, years ago, I had a lot of mold and mildew problems on begonias because I was a begonia lover and it's for partial shade. They were perfect, ideal where I had them at the time. But I did have a problem with mildew and mold on the leaves. So that will get rid of it either or. And again, one's for plants for human consumption and the other is not. One will work both ways, but the oil will not. So again, cheap, easy fix, anywhere, $5, $6, $7, and that should fix you up. And again, so that's about the solution, like about a teaspoon to about 2 to 3 cups of water in a spray bottle. The furniture polish, the pledge, or the no-name furniture polish will work. Again, just treat as needed and don't get carried away. You just need a light coating. You're better off to do a few light coatings a week as to one big massive coating. And remember, if it rains, you're going to have to retreat them. Again, the aphids, usually when they're alive, they will be a lime green and they do blend in really, really well with the leaves. And often if you flip the leaves upside down, you can see them there. And after you spray them with pledge or with the baking soda mixture, you can tell they're dead because they turn black, right? So just go have a look. Treat as needed. Couple times a week if needed, and that should be a cheap, easy fix. And so I hope that helps you out. And this is kind of another better way to stay away from the high chemical range. So when you're going into like the pesticides and herbicides, those kind of things. So again, cheap, easy fix, easy garden hack, great for, and it's also great for house plants too, because sometimes we do end up with a little bit of an infestation for aphids, or spider mites is another popular thing amongst house plants. So that will work for this too. Okay, so again, cheap, easy. I hope it helps, and have a good gardening season. Bye for now.